Last week's Raw was completely boring, so this is how I would book tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, starting the show off immediately, we would get into the Joe Hendry concert, and Joe Hendry would sing for a couple minutes, but then he would be attacked by Rusev, and then he would be saved by Penta and Javon Evans, but then Ethan Page would get involved. So after the commercial break, we would get Ethan Page and Rusev versus Javon Evans and Penta. Now the winners here would be Ethan Page and Rusev, and I would have Rusev pin Penta because I would have him get an Intercontinental Championship match next week on Raw. After that, we would cut to backstage where the entire Judgment Day would be there, and Dominic would tell JD that, hey, tonight everybody has something except you. So, you know what? Go get a match with Adam Pearce against somebody. So JD McDonough would go, and then we would get a promo between the Street Profits and Division. The Street Profits would explain why they joined Seth Rollins and that they are here to save the tag team division from the cancer that is Division. After that, we would get another backstage segment with JD McDonough where he would go to Adam Pearce and he would tell him that he wants to have an open challenge. Whoever wants can face JD McDonough tonight in the ring, and Adam Pearce would tell him, fine, go, you had that open challenge. So after this promo, we would get Roxanne Perez versus Stephanie Vaquer. Now Stephanie Vaquer would win this match, and after the match, Liv would attack Stephanie and she would tell her, hey, you want your rematch? You got your rematch at Backlash, but it won't be no normal match, it will be a no disqualification match. After that, we would get a backstage segment between LA Knight and Gunther. I don't have anything else for LA Knight on this show, but I think the rivalry with Gunther is slowly gonna be heating up. If you would want me to make this a series, let me know down in the comments, like and subscribe, and go to my hero to support me. Alright, after this, JD McDonough would host his open challenge, and that open challenge would be answered by Pete Dunne. JD McDonough and Pete Dunne would go in the ring, and they would have a clinic of a wrestling match with Pete Dunne coming on top. Now after this, in backstage, we would have Joe Hendry going to Adam Pearce, telling him that he wants a match against Rusev next week, but Adam Pearce would tell him that is not possible because next week Rusev is having an Intercontinental Championship match against Penta. Another backstage segment would be Dragon Lee and Grayson Waller getting into a confrontation that would lead to Adam Pearce making it official as a match for tonight. And then we would hear from the best in the world, CM Punk. And immediately as CM Punk would get the microphone, he would be interrupted by Oba Femi. Now these two would go back and forth for some minutes, talking about how they both want the world title and that Oba Femi is not afraid of anybody, not even the best in the world, and he has no problem stepping up to him in the ring. Now after this, we would get another backstage segment between JD McDonough and Adam Pearce, where JD would tell Adam, hey, this was unfair, I wasn't prepared yet, so I want another open challenge for anybody that wants next week so I can prepare, and Adam Pearce would make that official for next week, JD's McDonough open challenge. After that, we would get Dragon Lee versus Grayson Waller, with Dragon Lee coming on top. After this, we would get one of those Finn Balor videos where he would talk about the rivalry between him and Dominic. Now then, we would hear from the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and it's not just her saying it, Becky Lynch. She would talk about what it means for her to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time and what it meant to beat AJ Lee and beat the corruption that is against her. And then we will get a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship that is between Io Sky, Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, Sol Ruca, Bayley, and Lara Valkyria, with Sol Ruca coming on top. Backstage, we will get a confirmation that Asuka versus Io Sky is happening, and it is happening at Backlash. Then we will get Angelo Dawkins versus Braun Breaker. Now this could either be a no contest or Angelo winning by DQ, but basically the Vision and Seth would get involved, and Seth would say that we are going to resolve this at Backlash, because at Backlash we are going to be getting Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Then backstage, Pete Dunne would be talking about how he is happy to be back and that this is him. This is him. And to promote Triple H, he would be interrupted by El Grande Americano, who would be attacked from behind by the original El Grande Americano, and then original El Grande Americano and the new El Grande Americano would fight, and they would have an intense brawl. If you've seen on Triple H the brawls and the rivalry that these two have had, it's incredible. So I really want to promote Triple H by giving them a good backstage brawl between the two. And then we would get to the match main event, that is Finn Balor versus Dominic inside a steel cage, with Finn Balor coming on top. This match could go 17 minutes. Just let him go out there and have a good wrestling match to end this rivalry. And then in the main event, it is the confrontation between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. Now in this confrontation, it will be confirmed that Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns will be happening for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. And I would want this to be a really intense promo battle. Like, I would truly want to bring out Jacob's past about how he's the black sheep of the family, how he was in jail and all of these things, but I really want it to feel personal. So yeah, this is how I would book tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. If you liked it, like and subscribe, go to the description to see if you want to support me in my hero, and I'll see you in the next video.